We are expecting an update today on the investigation into the shooting at Club Q in Colorado Springs. Right now, the suspect is facing murder and hate crime charges.
And we've also learned the accused shooter was known to law enforcement, but was still able to buy at least 2 weapons themselves. Denver 7's Brandon Richard is in front of the Capitol building this morning because, Brandon, Governor Polis wants Colorado to revisit how it enforces the red flag law.
Yeah, that's right. The governor says that he's going to take a hard look at Colorado's red flag law and why it wasn't used to keep guns away from the Club Q shooting suspect. Now, that law has come under scrutiny here over the last week, ever since we learned that the suspect, Anderson Lee Aldridge, was arrested by police last year and accused of making threats against their mother. Now, the law allows a family member or law enforcement to petition a court to revoke a person's access to guns if they could pose a danger to others. But it wasn't used against Aldridge, and officials in El Paso County have not explained why. Many wondering if it had been, could it have prevented the Club Q tragedy? Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press, Governor Polis said it's time to look at reforming the law to make sure it's used when it should be used.
We need to make sure that that's more available and easier when somebody's an immediate threat, and there were signs in this troubled person's past that he would have been a threat. It could have instigated our red flag law to remove him from having custody over his weapons while he's experiencing that mental health crisis.
And the governor says he's also looking at expanding who can petition a court to revoke a person's access to guns, to possibly include district attorneys. Now, the governor says the law has worked successfully in the past and that more people should know what it can do. We're live at the Capitol this morning. Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Well, one of the heroes who risked his life to disarm the gunman and was hurt in the process is recovering in the hospital, but now speaking about that day. Active duty Navy sailor Thomas James released a statement yesterday saying in part, quote, "If I had my way, I would shield everyone I could from the nonsensical acts of hate in the world." He also said, "I want to support everyone who has known the pain and loss that have been all too common these past few years. My thoughts are with those we lost on November 19th and those who are still recovering from their injuries."
The other hero from the shooting, Army veteran Richard Fierro, and his wife thanked the community for the support they've been getting. They shared this video on the Facebook page for their Colorado Springs brewery. The Fierros say they'll have a fundraiser at the brewery tomorrow benefiting UC Colorado Springs Mosaic and LGBTQ+ Resource Center. And there's also a vigil tonight for Club Q victims in Denver. It's at 6:30 at City Park Pavilion. Organizers say the vigil will be focused on supporting the queer community after the holiday week and giving them a chance to connect and grieve together.
A lawsuit blaming Xcel Energy for the Marshall Fire will move forward. Over the weekend, the judge denied the motion from Colorado's largest utility company to dismiss the case. A lawsuit alleges sparks from an Xcel power line near Marshall Road started a ground fire on December 30th of last year, and that it grew to the 6,000 acres that destroyed 1,000 homes. An official cause of the Marshall Fire still has not been officially determined, nearly a year now after it started. As we dig deeper this morning, wildfires are making it harder for Coloradans to insure their homes. Our partners at the Denver Post report insurance companies are raising premiums on homeowners' policies if they decide to insure them at all. Now the state's insurance commissioner is suggesting Colorado set up a publicly funded pool of money to provide property insurance for those who can't find it on the open market. Well, Broncos country will be on the lookout for any announcements from the team today. Maybe, possibly. It's been a tough season to watch unravel. The Broncos lost yesterday to another flailing team, the Panthers, 23-10.
Well, here was the one nice moment, though. Russell Wilson threw this pass to Brandon Johnson. Johnson's first touchdown and number 300 for Russ. Unfortunately, more of those have not come this year. This actually ties Russell Wilson, though, with John Elway for 13th on the NFL's all-time list. But it came in the fourth quarter when the game was already out of reach.
We got to get the losing out of our system. You know, winning is a habit. Losing can be too. And so we got to make sure we have winning habits throughout the process, not just throughout the week, but throughout the whole game. You know, it's a four-quarter game. It's a four-quarter game, and the game wasn't over. and we got to keep believing in it. We got to keep, not blinking.
I mean, it sucks to lose. Obviously, it wears on you, but once again, it doesn't matter. No one cares. We get paid to win. We're not winning, and it's just that simple. So you got to find ways to win and string together wins.
He feels defeated. It's
Yeah,
like fans
poor guy.
feeling the same way, I think. Yeah.
Right, and I think that's even this far into the season, we know what we've got as a team, that fans are still mad. I think that they would just
are.
be exhausted.
Right.
I know, I don't really want to do the voicemails anymore, but like I've always told you guys, if they keep calling, we're going to air them because they're the voice of Broncos
That's
country, right? And they
Un-
would like their complaints to be heard.
Until the line goes dead, we'll keep doing it.
We're going to keep submitting them because we do not want to get the losing out of our system. We just want to win. So here's the Denver 7 Broncos voicemail hotline on how they think that can happen.
Broncos stink like a dead lobster.
I gotta say, it must be the hardest job to be a Broncos fan.
And Russell Wilson, he stinks like a dead lobster, too.
We need new coaches. We need good players.
See them to get their butt kicked for the 8th time. They're doo-doo heads.
I just like to propose a new name for the Denver Broncos. Not the Denver Donkeys, but how about the Denver Duds?
Y'all need to get rid of that coach and get another coach. Won't y'all hire Deion Sanders to be the head coach for the Broncos?
This is the worst season in Denver history.
I think they gave all that money to Russell Wilson. They should have gave it to Sierra. She probably could do better than him. This was ridiculous. But I'm a die-hard Bronco fan.
It was interesting to see some of the frustrations come out on the side.
Yeah, one guy got in Russell's face a little bit.
Right.
He couldn't tell exactly what was going on there. But the fans have some thoughts. Russell from afar, which is basically to try Sierra. Maybe she should play quarterback. That was one fan's idea.
Yes.
Someone else suggested
Little 1-2 step.
Deion Sanders become the Broncos head coach, but he's currently rumored that he's becoming Colorado's head coach. So now the Buffs and the Broncos are battling it out for a head coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Well,
both-
Hackett
both
still
need
has a
some
job
help.
right now, but yeah, so we'll see. Lisa, you're one of the diehards, of course, that's still watching?
I still watch. Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, it's football, right? Yeah, it would be nice to win, though. It would. We're in the 30s right now. We'll be at about 50 degrees by 11 o'clock, and then low to mid 50s for highs this afternoon. So as you're getting out the door, pretty nice and mild today. The winds are going to kick up tonight. We're tracking a cold front, snow coming in with it, and it's going to lead to a very different out the door forecast tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at just how cold it's going to get and how much snow we're expecting here in a few minutes.